The News Hour Special Edition.
Hello and welcome. Thank you very much for joining us here on Times Now. This is the News Hour Special Edition this Saturday evening, and I am Hina Gambhir. Viewers, the Grand Old Party of India, Congress, is battling a conundrum. Even though one of its tallest leaders and India's first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru had said, India first, the party under its current boss, Rahul Gandhi, is seemingly drawing a new political line. And that is target Narendra Modi first. The most contemporary example for this new political ideology is what its four-term MP from Thiruvananthapuram, Dr. Shashi Tharoor, is being subjected to by his own party, and his virtual open admission of what he is going through. On Friday, Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge chaired a crucial brainstorming session at his residence in Delhi to fine-tune the strategy for the upcoming Kerala polls. The meeting was attended by party's top brass, including Rahul Gandhi, General Secretary K.C. Venugopal, Kerala in charge Deepa Das Munshi, besides Sachin Pilot and K.J. George, plus State Unit Chief Sunny Joseph, along with Ramesh Chenithala and V.D. Satheesan. Believe it or not, Shashi Tharoor, who is the working chief of the party's Kerala unit, skipped this meeting. There were red faces in the party. For damage control, a statement was issued that Tharoor had prior permission to attend a literary festival in Kozhikode. But the distance between reality and this statement is longer than kilometers between Kozhikode and Delhi. Sample this. Tharoor, speaking at Kerala Literature Festival, asserted that he remains unapologetic about his stances on national security, such as backing the BJP-led central government on its moves against Pakistan, including how Operation Sindoor was carried out. Dr. Tharoor was asked a question about his long-standing friction with the Congress leadership during a session on his book on spiritual leader Sri Narayan Guru. He did not address specific instances but said that he stood by his writings and speeches on advocating a kinetic response against terrorist camps following the Pahalgam terror attack in Kashmir last year. To back his stand, which has not gone down well with Rahul Gandhi, and thus the Congress in fact as well, Dr. Tharoor invoked no less than Jawaharlal Nehru's famous question, who lives if India dies? He added, when India is at stake, India comes first. Listen in to what he had said at the Litfest.
When the government sent me, they sent many other leaders of many other parties on multi-party delegations. For some reason, my party did not like my doing this. Apparently, you can speak to them and find out why. But as I said publicly in response, and I will repeat again today, it was Nehruji who asked the very famous question, who lives if India dies? When India is at stake, when India's security, national security and place in the world is at issue, India comes first. Political parties are important. They are a vehicle to create a better India. We can disagree with each other on the ways to do that, but whenever India's interests are involved, India prevails.
Not just that, he even appreciated Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Listen in.
You may remember, I wrote about it at that time in 2014 when the BJP came to power, there was a lot of talk that they would scrap the constitution and bring in a new constitution. It was even reported that the RSS ideologue Govindacharya was writing the draft of a new constitution. And yet, the BJP's Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced that the constitution was his holy book. In fact, in his first speech ever to the US Congress, joint sitting of the US House of Congress, he said the Constitution is my only holy book. That's how he sees the Constitution as sacrosanct. And the result is that even those who rejected the Constitution, as the RSS had done, have now embraced it.
Viewers, this means Tharoor is digging in his heels on his stand on national issues, which may be out of sync with the narrative Rahul Gandhi has been constructing on Operation Sindoor and other such issues. First, he faced flack for his yes to become part of the multi-party delegation on Operation Sindoor, which went to different countries to put forward India's stance following the Pahalgam terror attack. Listen in now to how the BJP and the Congress netas reacted to what Dr. Tharoor said today.
So the cat is out of the bag. Dr. Tharoor has said that from his end, he has never violated any of the Congress party's positions in Parliament, and the only difference that he had with the Congress was on Operation Sindoor, when he praised the Indian Armed Forces and did not give in to the surrender narrative of Rahul Gandhi. So just because he kept national interest above parivarik interest, above Rahul Gandhi's interest, he has been snubbed and he has been sidelined. This shows the mindset of the Congress. It is always family first, never nation first. It is sad that Congress party cannot stand anybody who has merit, talent and puts nation or party first. This is the true intolerant mindset and the family first mindset of
केरल में एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण बैठक हुई है जिसमें शशि थरूर गायब दिखे। कहा जा रहा है कि अभी पिछले हफ्ते एक मीटिंग हुई थी जिसमें उनको तवज्जो नहीं दी गई राहुल गांधी जी के द्वारा।
शशि थरूर जी कोई इतना बड़ा पार्ट नहीं है, नहीं दिखे तो नहीं दिखे, ऐसा कुछ है नहीं।
Now, viewers, Tharoor may be obstinately unapologetic about his stand, but his party boss Rahul Gandhi has been indicating that he would be sorry for this line. The buzz in Kerala and Congress circles is that Tharoor didn't merely prioritize the Kerala Lit Fest event over the Kerala poll meet, but it is said he was miffed over being snubbed. On 19th of January, Rahul Gandhi addressed a Mahapanchayat of elected local body representatives. During that event, Rahul Gandhi reportedly acknowledged 12 senior leaders except Dr. Shashi Tharoor. Sample this.
KC Venugopal ji, Deepa Das Munshi ji, Sachin Pilot ji, KJ George ji, Sunny Joseph ji, VD Satishan ji, Adur Prakash ji, Sudhakaran ji, Ramesh Chenithala ji, K Muralidharan ji, Kodi Kunal Suresh ji, MM Hassan ji, all the senior leaders on the dais and all my brothers and sisters from the local bodies, I'd like to welcome all of you here today.
Did you notice something, viewers? Shashi Tharoor was sitting in the same row, but Rahul Gandhi didn't feel he should mention the name of one of the 3 Congress working committee members from the state. So it's clear, Rahul Gandhi dished out a snub to Tharoor for taking the India First line. And now, an ex-Congress insider, Shakil Ahmed, has said that Rahul Gandhi is not only inaccessible, but even fears merit, and that's why we are seeing perhaps this kind of a response. He went on to say that entitlement is plastered across Rahul's face. Listen.
तो राहुल जी से अगर किसी ने मिलने का टाइम मांगा, कोई दिल्ली का है, उसने टाइम मांग लिया, तो हुआ कि उनके ऑफिस में फोन किया कि हमको टाइम चाहिए, मिलना चाहते हैं राहुल जी से। तो उनके ऑफिस के लोग या राहुल गांधी जी की कंसेंट से वो पूछेंगे वहां जो उनका इंचार्ज है, और उसने अगर कह दिया कि मिलना है तो मिलेंगे, नहीं मिलना है तो नहीं मिलेंगे, तो इसका मतलब है कि आपने अपने को फिल्टर्ड लोगों से मिलते हैं। राहुल गांधी जी को है कि मेरा और मेरे परिवार की कांग्रेस है, और इसीलिए आप देखिएगा रूटलेस लोगों को वो पसंद कर। राहुल गांधी जी के पास आपको एक मजेदार बात बताते हैं कि किसी कांग्रेसी की सबसे बड़ी शिकायत है कि ये अपने इलाके में पॉपुलर है, और सबसे बड़ी तारीफ है कि 5 आदमी नहीं है, उसको वो 5 आदमी को अपने पास रख, जिसको नहीं है वो रखने लगेंगे, और जिसको है उनको डर ये है कि अगर ये एक उनकी होती है साइकी हर आदमी की, एक उनको डर लगता है, मुझको लगता है कि ये जब अलग होगा हमसे तो हमको इतने लोगों को लेकर चला जाएगा।
This brings a question. Is it Parivar or India First for the Congress party? The voters in Kerala are too sharp to miss the developments that are taking place or the friction that persists in the Congress. When Kerala is set for a potential triangular battle in the assembly polls expected by May 2026. Congress-led United Democratic Front is assessed to be in a good position to unseat the Communist Party of India, Marxist CPIM-led LDF, which has held power for a decade now. The BJP-led NDA is ramping up its campaign. In fact, on Friday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited Thiruvananthapuram, where he promised to investigate the gold theft case at the Sabrimala temple. And he also vowed that the culprits will be jailed if BJP is voted to power. So we ask tonight, viewers, will we finally see an end to this Tharoor in or out of the Congress puzzle ahead of the Kerala polls? Why is Congress letting the Tharoor issue fester like this? Will Tharoor sidelining hurt the Congress at least in the 15-odd assembly seats in Thiruvananthapuram? To discuss it, I'm joined on the debate by Sanju Verma, National Spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Yuvraj Pokhand, who is a columnist, Kamruzaman Chaudhary, political analyst, Kapil Madan, advocate and political analyst. We also have with us Neerja Chaudhary, who is a senior journalist. Good evening to all of you. Thank you very much for joining us here on this debate. Let me begin this discussion with you, Ms. Neerja Chaudhary. What do you make of the kind of statements that we have heard from Dr. Shashi Tharoor? Why is there a need for him to again and again prove that whatever he is saying, for him, it is India first? When it comes to national security, he is just following the line that was given by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, and he quoted that as well today. Who lives if India dies? That's the only narrative he's following. That's the only line he's following. So why should anybody in the Congress have a problem with that?
Well, Shashi Tharoor factor is back with the bang again. And in the run-up to elections in Kerala, this is something the Congress could do without. Now, Shashi Tharoor's stand on Operation Sindoor, which he's reiterated and said he's not apologizing for it, but there were differences with the party. That stand is known, and he's again repeated that stand. As for other issues, you know, there was this meeting a few days ago in Wayanad constituency where he was there, and you felt maybe they're sorting out differences. There was no controversy emerging out of it. And then came this other meeting where Rahul Gandhi is believed to have snubbed him and not referred to him as a senior leader, CWC member, been in the Congress 17 years and won 4 elections from Thiruvananthapuram. So he's a senior person and an able parliamentarian, author, etc., etc. So to ignore him did not go down well with Dr. Tharoor. And he's made that very clear. Now, and then, of course, he skipped this meeting in Delhi to plan strategy for the Kerala elections, with the Kerala leaders going to the High Command and to meet Mr. Kharge, Mallikarjun Kharge and Rahul Gandhi.
Right.
He showed his displeasure, but he's also said again at the Kerala Lit Fest that I've said what I had to say, but I am, all the differences within the party should be sorted out within the party. I've said enough. So in a sense, you know, the emergence of a controversy and notes of discordance at this particular juncture go to help the BJP as well as the left front. They don't do anything for the Congress, and therefore could have been avoided, should have been avoided.
Okay. This could have been avoided, should have been avoided. Eventually, it's going to help the left and the BJP. We have seen the recently concluded civic body polls as well in Kerala. They've also told us a very interesting story. So, Kamruzaman Chaudhary, my question to you is this. Why is the Congress High Command not settling this issue once and for all? Rahul Gandhi has visited Kerala now many a times. Elections, very crucial elections for the Congress party, are just weeks away.
Basically, Hena, you must understand one thing. Congress party has got its ideological position on different issues. On this particular Operation Sindoor and the national security issue also, we have got our positions. The party has officially declared its position. Now, some leader does not want to toe the official party line. It's his prerogative. But ultimately, when we come back into one umbrella, that is the Congress party, there will be differences here and there. That's what Congress party is. It doesn't mean that, like the BJP says, the national security is equal to a propaganda machinery that the BJP government always makes, whether it was about the surgical strike, whether it was about Operation Sindoor. But look what Congress has asked of the government. We do not want political misuse of the military action against a what you call the militant state. Again, are we defending the army or are we defending the BJP's political narrative built on it? That's what Mr. Tharoor must have understood, and he must have explained to the nation. Instead of that, there must have been some political compulsion from Mr. Tharoor that he issued his statement and is standing by it. Nothing more, nothing less. But one thing, Hena, there's a very interesting comparison I want to make out here.
Okay.
You have discussed Dr. Tharoor out here. Let us discuss the unceremonial exit of the Vice President of India Jagdeep Dhankar from the parliament.
But
without even
Kamruzaman
getting a
Chaudhary,
farewell
when that happened, we discussed that also.
You were stopping me.
You know, when that
stopping me on
happened, we discussed that issue as well. So today we are discussing something that has happened today. So, you know, let's stick to that one. Now,
I know. Our main unanswered question on Operation Sindoor were, after the war, we asked what are the strategic objectives, were they achieved, what was the long-term deterrence value? Did Mr. Trump come in and stop the war on Operation
Verma,
Sindoor?
my question then is,
why is the BJP
if
government
Congress
not
party
sending
has
out
a specific position on Operation Sindoor, and as Mr. Kamruzaman Chaudhary mentioned, that, you know, some leader, here he is referring to Dr. Shashi Tharoor, some leader is not ready to toe the party line. So why is, you know, the High Command not calling Dr. Tharoor and settling this issue once and for all? If he is not towing the party line, embarrassing the party again and again, they can always throw him out of the party, but even that is not being done. Sanju Verma.
Thank you. Hina, first and foremost, you know, let's get one thing very clear. Shashi Tharoor is on record saying that he has not violated any laid down principles of the Congress party, barring public disagreement on Operation Sindoor, and he has categorically said, for him, irrespective of political ideology, it is India and Indians first. By virtue of what Shashi Tharoor has said, indirectly he has also implied that Congress does not stand with the India first ideology. Point number one. Point number two, I'm not surprised at how Shashi Tharoor has been sidelined. I have said this on umpteen debates, but I will not get tired of reinforcing it again. What Hardik Patel said before leaving the Congress party, he said Congress party ka to ye haal hai, Rahul Gandhi ke liye jo chicken sandwich lene ke liye 300 किलोमीटर गाड़ी में जाए, वो राहुल गांधी को बहुत पसंद आता है, पर जो जमीन पर कार्यकर्ता काम करते हैं उन्हें मिलने का वक्त राहुल गांधी के पास कदापि नहीं है. Look at Captain Amrinder Singh, look at Sunil Jhakar, look at Hardik Patel, look at you know, even some of the spokespersons like Jayaveer Shergill, Gaurav Vallabh, Radhika Khera, so on and so forth. If there is one constant refrain that I've heard from every ex-Congress person, it is Rahul Gandhi is consumed by hubris, consumed by arrogance, and is absolutely incommunicado and is absolutely inaccessible, which I think speaks very poorly of a so-called self-anointed Jan Nayak, under whose belt the Congress has lost more than 95 big and small elections. But very quickly, I just want to say this, because I heard a long monologue from Kamruzaman. I think we don't need to first and foremost give certificates on Operation Sindoor. Every global military expert has applauded the Modi government, and what better proof than this, that one of their own, Shashi Tharoor, has exposed the Congress's hypocrisy. And my final point is this, Hina. In Rajasthan, it was Ashok Gehlot versus Sachin Pilot. In Chhattisgarh, for the longest time, it has been T.S. Singhdio versus Bhupesh Baghel.
Right.
In Mumbai, Maharashtra, it is Nana Jagdeep. You know, can I please finish? I did not finish your point. Yes. In Mumbai, it has been Bhai Jagtap versus Varsha Gaikwad versus Nana Patole. And as you said in the introduction, Hina, in Kerala now, the situation is so dire for the Congress party. It is Sunny Joseph versus K.C. Venugopal versus K. Muralidharan versus V. Sudhakaran versus V.D. Satishan versus Ramesh Chennithalla versus Priyanka Vadra versus Rahul Gandhi. That is the state of affairs in a debilitated Congress party. They refuse to wake up and smell the coffee.
Kamruzaman Chaudhary wants to respond. Quick rebuttal.
Basically, Hina, through your channel, I want to say to these people from the Bharatiya Janata Party, Dr. Tharoor standing with the army does not mean surrendering our right to question the government. We are questioning the government, not the army. When you say the nation first, India first, it is 100 times India first. But Congress stands with soldiers, BJP hides behind them. That's the difference. We questioning power is patriotism. Questioning power is patriotism. Applauding power blindly is propaganda, and that's what BJP is famous for.
Okay.
They've used every opportunity of the Indian Army successes to make a propaganda for the event.
Quick response, Sanju Verma, then Yuvraj Pokhran, and then Advocate Kapil Madan. 10 seconds only. Quick rebuttal, Sanju.
My quick rebuttal is this, that after the horrific 26/11 Mumbai terror attack, the then IAF chief, Fali Homi Major, is on record saying that the IAF wanted to avenge the terror attack of 26/11, but Sonia Gandhi and Manmohan Singh refused to do so. So I think Kamru Zaman should, is the last person to be lecturing.
Now both of you please calm down. I have given both of you enough amount of time to make your point. Let me now go across to my other guests as well. Yuvraj Pokhran. Now, some very interesting points were made by Ms. Neerja Chaudhary as well. Where do you stand? I mean, why is the Congress party not really settling this issue once and for all? I mean, do they not care for the seats in Thiruvananthapuram, which is dominated by left right now? We all have seen performance of the BJP also. Is Congress not bothered?
The crux of the issue lies at the leadership vacuum and the ideological vacuum that Congress faces. A few moments ago, Mr. Kamru Zaman was ranting in and out about ideological stance of Congress. Let me make it very clear through you to your viewers. The only ideology that Congress right now possesses is chanting Rahul Chalisa day in and day out. And let me also expose the ideological stance of Congress on Operation Sindoor. Praniti Shinde, she labeled Operation Sindoor as tamasha, drama, spectacle. Prithviraj Chauhan, the former Maharashtra CM, the veteran Congress leader, said that India to pehle hi din haar chuka tha. Rahul Gandhi said this entire activity was a PR gimmick, and in fact the heads of the army were tied by the government. Malika Arjun Khadge on record said, "Ye to chutput ladai thi, isme kya tha?" Ajay Rai, the UP Congress chief, says that something is fishy
all
about
of that
operation.
we have discussed ad nauseum. But let's talk about why there is this need for Dr. Shashi Tharoor to again and again prove why he is supporting the government, why he is supporting India when it comes to Operation Sindoor. Why is he, why is he being forced to say something like this again and again? That he is unapologetic about his stand when it comes to the country.
Now let me just complete my point. Mr. Tharoor is a wise man. He is a retired bureaucrat for Foreign Service. He knows that he can go against BJP, he can go against the RSS, but he cannot go against the nation. So he's a wise leader and he's playing to the gallery. He cannot be against the nation. And just last 10 seconds, he's the same man who started challenging the dynasty when he filed his presidentship nomination against Khadge and against the mandate of the Gandhi Parivar. He's the same man who in July or August 2025 deemed Rahul Gandhi as a Nepo kid, of course, indirectly on a public platform.
Okay. Advocate Kapil Madan, I mean, can you explain to us what's really happening? Because, there is a Nehru's Congress that, Dr. Shashi Tharoor was talking about. And on the other hand, people who are unhappy with how today's Congress is looking like, they're talking about Rahul's Congress. And the question that's being asked is that for today's Congress that's under Rahul Gandhi, is it Parivar first and not India first?
So, Hina, I think you're asking an incorrect question. Rather, you should be asking whether it is Vajpayee's BJP or it is, Modi's BJP. Because if you...
Sir, I don't need lectures from you on whether my question is correct or incorrect. I mean, come on. Come on. The point is, we are discussing something that's brewing in the Congress party. We're not discussing what's happening in the BJP. I mean, it's so convenient for the political parties. If they don't have an answer, they take the viewers to something else that's happening in some other state or maybe some other political party. Can we stick to what's happening in the Congress party?
Let me just give you a context. What happens is, when you have a different yardstick to look at BJP, the same issue, you will look BJP from a different realm and you will look at the Congress from a different realm. Of course, as a debater, a person who
Can I decide what my debate is going to be on, Kapil Madan?
No, but you
can I decide what my debate is going to be on? You cannot question me for my choice of topic. Okay, 1 second. Advocate Kapil Madan, 1 second. 1 second. There is an issue that we are discussing There is an issue that we are discussing. It's not a YouTube channel. It's a 24-hour live television news channel wherein we discuss something that happens during the day.
Let me answer.
So let me decide firstly what my topic of debate is going to be. If you do not have any view, I do not want any lectures from you firstly, Advocate Kapil Madan, on my questions.
Let's calm down. Let's go. Don't get angry on this.
No, the point is you can't start by saying that first you need to ask the right question. I'm sorry.
No. So let me give you why I said that. Because when you have different yardstick to look at BJP and Congress, of course, then people will ask questions.
Why are you saying we have a different yardstick for the BJP and the Congress? Let's settle that debate first.
Let me explain that. Let me explain that. If you look at pictures from BJP's recent event, you have reports and numerous reports wherein you will say you will get to know Mr. Nitin Gadkari has not greeted Mr. Modi. You will also see picture and images where Chief Minister Yogi ji has not greeted Mr. Modi. So if you apply the same yardstick,
Advocate Kapil Madan, has it happened today? Has it happened today? Has it happened yesterday? One second. Advocate Kapil Madan, has it happened today? Has it happened yesterday? If it has happened 5 months ago, why should I be discussing it today? That is why I said it's not a YouTube channel. It's a 24-hour television channel where we break stories as they come. There is something that Dr. Shashi Tharoor has said today and hence we are discussing it today.
So, Hina, thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving the timeline. But please tell our viewers, did you debated this topic even 5 months ago?
Advocate Kapil Madan, if you have any answer to the direct question I asked you, please respond. Otherwise, do not waste the time of the viewers. Because see, 1 second.
I am not wasting your time.
Anyways, I want to go back to Ms. Neerja Chaudhary because, I just can't keep going round and round. We're discussing something interesting. And it's interesting because elections are coming. Come on, Advocate Kapil Madan. This is like, I don't really expect something like this with you. You are a learned man. You're always civil in all the debates. I mean, I don't know what is wrong with you today.
No, Hina. I am only giving you a context. Perhaps you didn't like the context.
No, you start only by saying that your question is incorrect. I mean, that can't be the way, right, that I'm going to accept.
I say your context is incorrect.
No.
I stand corrected. I admit my mistake. But your context is incorrect. Let me improvise. Your context is incorrect. And can I now make my point? If I am allowed to?
Please go ahead, make your point. I don't have a lot of time. I want to go across to my other guests.
Now let me just give you another context to it. In different organization in BJP and Congress, you will have difference of opinion. I mean, difference of opinion is not a breakdown of an institution. Why I quoted BJP's example is that in every party, in every institution, you will have leadership and every leader will have a different point of view on a particular given topic or a situation. Just because there is a different point of view or maybe there is a disagreement, there is a disengagement, you can't draw this kind of a conclusion that there is a breakdown or there is an institutional crisis. Unfortunately, these kind of trivial issues are finding place in prime time, which I feel inappropriate because these are. Even if there is a disagreement, I am not saying that there is no disagreement. I am saying let's assume whatever you are saying is correct. Let's assume that the context is correct. Even then, this is not something as big as we should be debating on a prime time. We have an issue.
Ms. Neerja Chaudhary, you've made your point, Advocate Kapil Madan. We got a gist of what you're trying to say. Ms. Neerja Chaudhary, how will you like to respond to something like this? One, Kapil Madan calls it a trivial issue, says difference of opinion does not mean there is a breakdown as far as the institution is concerned. And also, the fact that Congress party is not really addressing this issue. Is it because Dr. Tharoor has directly challenged the high command of the party? What is your assessment?
I think, the Congress party knows there are differences. The High Command knows that there are differences they have with Shashi Tharoor. They are publicly aired. Yet the Congress High Command decided not to take action against him. They could have expelled him. But they know that it is not going to go down very well in Kerala. he may not be, super popular to become a chief minister, though he wanted to be projected, I'm sure, that way. But the fact is, Kerala today is a state where the Congress is very well placed. It will take some doing to lose that state. I hope Congress doesn't do that. Because they did extremely well in the Lok Sabha elections in 2024 in Kerala. Therefore, they found it very difficult to get rid of him, and they have to put up with him. That being the situation, what I don't comprehend is, why do they have to needle him after he was there in Wayanad, playing ball? He was strategizing with the party. And there was no controversy emerging from there. So why needle him on something as small as not taking his name or addressing him or asking him to, wind down and stop speaking? And after that, several other people spoke. So you did not give him his due in very small ways, which is, I don't understand this at all. This mentality, I don't understand at all. When you have such high stakes and you have a state which is going to be under your belt, why do you act like that?
Okay.
And it leads to a controversy which is going to hurt you, because as I said, discordant notes don't go in your favor. It shows disunity in the party.
Okay. Kamruzaman Chaudhary, please respond, then Sanju Verma, and then Yuvraj.
Basically, you see, Hina, the voters of Kerala are well educated and have got a very good grasp of politics, as I can see from here, because it has always been a politically active state, though violence has been a past story, I suppose. But here, when you discuss Dr. Tharoor and Congress party and the Bharatiya Janata Party, what comes to my mind is Dr. Tharoor talks about the India First issue. But when Donald Trump claimed mediation sovereignty of India was insulted.
What Ms. Neerja Chaudhary has mentioned. One second. Kamruzaman Chaudhary, I have asked you a specific question. Some relevant points have been made by Ms. Neerja Chaudhary. I want you to please address those. I don't want to discuss US President Donald Trump right now. We'll have another debate, and I promise I'm going to call you on that debate.
You do not want to listen to those critical questions?
Because I don't want to discuss what Donald Trump is doing. We've done it ad nauseum, Kamruzaman Chaudhary. We have a specific issue. If you don't have an answer, that's fair enough. Then I'll go to another guest. But Neerja Chaudhary has made some very relevant points.
Fair enough. I accept your acceptance that is a fair enough question. Thank you for that. Now coming to the Congress party and Dr. Tharoor. Dr. Tharoor is an undeniable part of the Congress family.
Are you sure?
Are
you sure? Because earlier you said some leader.
I'm telling you one thing. I myself was active once again in the Congress party because of Shashi Tharoor ji, when he started the professional Congress within the party. So there are hundreds and thousands like me who are still a fan of Shashi Tharoor ji. If he changes his ideology, that's his personal prerogative.
So why was he snubbed by Rahul Gandhi?
Out here. If there is any pressure or because of the Sunanda Pushkar ji's case,
why was he snubbed by Rahul Gandhi? The point that Ms. Neerja Chaudhary made.
It was not a snub.
Why did Rahul Gandhi not take Dr. Shashi Tharoor's name when he was on the stage?
Must have been a slip.
1 second.
That must have been a slip. Somewhere who has prepared. No, wait. How does it happen? Hina, you have covered politics long enough. Whenever a leader of Rahul Gandhi's stature comes to the stage, he gets a prepared list of dignitaries on the stage.
But Sanju Verma, if Rahul Gandhi gets a prepared list of people on the stage, he can't miss Dr. Shashi Tharoor.
Maybe.
I mean, you don't need a written name on a list.
It's creating a mountain.
Sanju Verma. Mountain out of a molehill now. That's what Kamruzaman Chaudhary is saying. Dr. Shashi Tharoor का नाम भी लिस्ट में लिखा हुआ चाहिए शायद राहुल गांधी को. This is probably what Kamruzaman Chaudhary is talking about.
Hina, the arguments given by some of the panelists are absolutely lame and ridiculously hilarious. But I just want to say this. वो जो एक कहावत है ना, जीत कर हारने वाले को बाजीगर कहते हैं, जीत कर हारने वाले को बाजीगर कहते हैं और बार-बार हारने वाले को राहुल गांधी कहते हैं. But I would, like to just focus for 20 seconds on what Neerja Chaudhary said. This is not done. I did not tickle Kamru.
Chaliye, Kamru Zaman Chaudhary, allow her to finish the point. Then I will give you time if time permits. Yes.
Yes. You know, I'm not here to listen to the rants of the Congresses without being allowed to speak. My simple submission is this. As Neerja Chaudhary said, you have to be, absolutely insane, though she did not use that term, when the stakes are so high for the Congress party in Kerala, to be coming up with the issues like these, where Rahul Gandhi and Shashi Tharoor are making a public spectacle of the fact that the Congress is against the Congress in one of the few states that it has perhaps got a chance to have a victory. But my more important point is this. Before Bhupendra Bhai Patel became the chief minister, it was Vijay Rupani.
Okay.
And I remember very clearly, nobody knew who Vijay Rupani was when he replaced Anandi Ben Patel. Nobody knew who Pushkar Singh Dhami was before he replaced Trivendra Singh and Tirath Singh Rawat. So my final point is, in BJP, it is not the person, it is the ideology and the underlying institutional mechanism that is at work, whereas Congress like JP Nadda said, कहीं की ईट कहीं का रोड़ा, भानुमति ने कुनबा जोड़ा, न नीति है, न नियत है, न नेतृत्व है, तो कैसे चुनाव जीतोगे?
Okay, Advocate Kapil Madan, how will you like to respond also to what Ms. Neerja Chaudhary mentioned earlier? Because some may say it's a trivial issue, Rahul Gandhi missing out Dr. Shashi Tharoor's name, but others will say that, he's a four-term member of parliament, and Rahul Gandhi didn't forget the name of two-time MP there, but forgot somebody who is a four-term MP.
So again, Hina, please pardon me for, saying something from the past. When you had an incident where Jagdeep Dhankar ji, who was the Vice President of India, who had to, resign abruptly, and the Prime Minister didn't even acknowledge the, So hold on. Why is she interfering? When I say something, I know these facts are very inconvenient for Sanju to defend. That's the reason why you will. So the point is, Sanju, the point is, you can't replace. Hold on, hear me out. You can't replace logic with noise. Unfortunately.
Okay. Both of you please calm down. Advocate Kapil Madan. Both of you please calm down. Kapil Madan, please finish your point. By the way, Kamru Zaman Chaudhary also started with the same incident that you're talking about, but like I told him also, we've discussed it in the past anyways.
So, what we are discussing is that Mr. Rahul Gandhi has not taken name of Mr. Shashi Tharoor. When our Honorable Prime Minister has not acknowledged the work done by Jagdeep Dhankar, and he had to resign midway abruptly, and the way his resignation came out, raises a lot of questions regarding the internal functioning of the BJP. But the point is,
how are these two related?
But the point is,
these two related?
So let me give you an example. Don't you think so? It's also an incident that throws much more light in the way the BJP functions.
But we're not discussing BJP, Advocate Kapil Madan. We're not discussing BJP.
So that's the moot point. That's an interesting point. That's why I said you will have to have same yardstick when you are making an issue and seeking questions from the Congress party. You will have to apply the same test yardstick and have to see what is happening in the BJP. One similar yardstick.
Yuvraj wants to come in. Quickly make your point.
You just asked why is Rahul Gandhi snubbing Mr. Tharoor. Let me answer this sharp question in Hindi. जीत के मुंह से हार को खींच के लाने वाले को राहुल गांधी कहते हैं. राहुल गांधी अपना हार का शतक पूरा करने जा रहे हैं और मैं नीरजा जी से थोड़ा डिसएग्री करता हूं. ऑल इज नॉट वेल इन कांग्रेस केरला कांग्रेस के अंदर 3 फैक्शन है, केसी वेणुगोपाल, वीडी सतीशन और रमेश चनीथाला. ये आपस में लड़ रहे हैं और इनका रिजल्ट क्या आने वाला है ये सब जानते हैं. बीजेपी इज इमर्जिंग एज अ फॉर्मिडेबल फोर्स in Kerala. So that is the theme, and all is not well in Congress. Kerala.
I want to give the last word to Ms. Neerja Chaudhary. Ms. Neerja Chaudhary, is that also the big problem here? This failure to also acknowledge the problem. Maybe Congress party does not even want to acknowledge it, like they've not acknowledged the infighting that we've seen still continuing in states. I mean, Karnataka issue is yet to be resolved.
No, I think they are aware of the infighting that's taken place, but not enough has been done to address it.
Why do you think that's happening?
I think they're not getting down to it. There is not enough importance being given to it. Maybe they don't have the people who can do it.
Do you think before elections in Kerala, Shashi Tharoor issue is going to be solved completely by Congress?
It is possible that, as the Congress spokesperson was saying, that it was an inadvertent slip. Let's give Rahul Gandhi the benefit of the doubt. Okay. The leader under pressure, it's possible this happened. But what is to stop him today calling Shashi Tharoor and said, let's sit across the table and discuss how do we take things forward in Kerala? What is the best way to move forward? What is to stop him doing that? Very simply done. Why is this communication gap?
Okay. Well, that's a very interesting point you have made, and we'll leave it there. We'll see what happens next in this case. Thank you very much, all of you, for joining us here on this debate on the News Hour, this weekend edition. Heading into a short break.